Welcome to Slow News Day with Kevin Clark. I am Kevin Clark. Who would have thunk after 8 months away that Eli Manning would be looking helpless in the New York Post? Wow, how things have changed. Above the fold, Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are failing Deshaun Watson. Now let's talk about this. The Andrew Luck saga should have sent a chill down the spine of everybody who has a young quarterback. Why? Because Andrew Luck was a sure thing, and a bad GM ruined him. The Texans are innovating this by not having a GM. They just fired their GM and said, yeah, we're not going to have a GM. So they have Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien, surprise, has no idea what he's doing. As of now, Deshaun Watson is on track, this is via ESPN, to be the most sacked quarterback on a per-game basis in history. 3.6 sacks per game. Number 2 is Neil Lomax. Neil Lomax basically did not play in my lifetime. I was like 2 when Neil Lomax was playing. Okay, that's where we're at. If you have a good quarterback, you should do everything you can to make sure that he succeeds. We've all been in college, high school, got an exam. You can pretty easily tell who's ready for it, who's not. The Texans are the team that woke up and said, that's today? The season, it was the season this year? I love the stat via Scott Katzmar. Deshaun Watson now has 5 touchdowns that were go-ahead touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and his team lost. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, 4 of those in their entire career. Both of them have played 10 times more games, literally 10 times more games than Deshaun Watson. Houston Texans are failing Deshaun Watson. Stop it. Come here. Come closer. Stop it. Don't waste Deshaun Watson. Wait, I don't understand it. Why is there a whole page devoted to the Chargers in LA?
You're still doing that joke?
That's pretty good. Other headlines. There's so many headlines. Raiders look okay. Raiders won on Monday night. Only 9 more years of Jon Gruden. That's the joke. And I want to congratulate Jon Gruden on beating Joe Flacco. It is, in fairness, something that all of us in this room could get together and do. But it's a win. A win is a win. However, I'm slightly afraid the Raiders are stuck in the middle. Lamar Jackson puts up 59 points. 59 points against the Miami Dolphins. We are laughing. We are having a very funny time at the expense of the Miami Dolphins. Well, guess what? In about 3 years, we will not be laughing. That's because once you are stuck in the middle, hard to go from good to great. What are the Dolphins doing? A very, very smart tactic. They're going backwards before they go forwards. One of the lessons of the Cleveland Browns is you need a lot of draft picks to start your climb forward. The Oakland Raiders had 3 first-round picks, the same way the Dolphins will have 3 first-round picks, but the Raiders are trying to compete now. The Raiders are not bad enough to take the ultimate step forward in a couple of years, whereas the Dolphins are absolutely bottoming out and have a better chance of competing in 2022, 2023 than a lot of other teams. Don't laugh at the Dolphins just yet. Okay, you laugh a little bit. He's kind of funny. A little bit. Laugh a little bit. You can laugh a lot. You can laugh a lot at the Dolphins.
What's your watch budget?
$5K.
Oh my God.
Mallory Rubin, Lamar Jackson watercolor, Baltimore Ravens helmet, Lamar Jackson jersey. Mallory, you're a Baltimore Ravens fan.
It's true.
A lot of excitement about that franchise. Why don't you tell us about it?
Sunday, 3.5 of the best hours of my entire life. 5 touchdowns, baby! Lamar! Joe who? Flacco who? But think of it this way. You know, like the dopamine rush, the thrill that you feel every time you get a new suede jacket, for example.
I do, yes.
That's how I feel every time I watch Lamar. I feel alive, I feel transported. And I think it's gonna be a special year. Now, I expect to see more running moving forward. Mm-hmm. Do I think he will have a perfect passer rating every single week? Probably not, but you know what, that's okay.
I think he will. Do you think that this whole Lamar Jackson's gonna change football by running the ball? That was all a long con, right? Because they were actually excited about his passing, and they convinced everybody he'd be running.
Why do they have to be mutually exclusive? Now, if you go back to the end of last season, the narrative was we're not going to let him run this much because we want him to be safe, right? We want to protect him.
And then in the middle of it, they were like, what if he ran every play?
What if we ran more than literally any team ever, right?
They said that.
I think that they will run a lot.
Yeah.
I also think that there's a reason that they drafted Hollywood Brown and Miles Boykin, and have obviously continued to invest in and develop Mark Andrews and Hayden Hurst, who, never forget, was drafted by the Ravens in the first round before Lamar Jackson. Yeah. That's a thing that happened. His over-under for passing touchdowns heading into the season was 15.5. Mm-hmm. Guess how many he already has? 5. Guess what week it is? 1. Pretty good for a first-round draft pick and Heisman-winning quarterback who has always been exemplary and multifaceted and talented.
When Lamar Jackson was coming out, you had people like Bill Polian who said he should play receiver. Mm-hmm. And I want this to go as viral as possible. So can you respond to the haters?
People can be wrong sometimes. I believe in embracing second chances and a dialogue, an open-mindedness, open-hearted spirit. Especially right now in this take first culture. It's all about division. And I also believe that everyone who doubted Lamar Jackson should be boiled alive in Old Bay seasoning. And served
Old Bay seasoning. Little local twist.
Yeah, I love that.
Family Circus.
There we go.
Maybe sort of just a segment now?
We got to try out a new teacher today. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so you're upset about that.
I mean, it's not good.
Are we going to talk about Odell's watch?
Odell Beckham is getting fined for wearing an incredible watch during games. Same thing Rafa Nadal does. Rafa Nadal last seen winning the US Open. It's a sound strategy.
I have a couple questions. for you.
Greatness happens when you're wearing a nice watch. US Open, Odell Beckham, slow news day.
The watch got all the headlines, but on Sunday, on
Yeah.
game
He
day,
also-
weekend, he
he
dropped
also-
his newest shoe
Okay.
with Nike.
Right.
It's a subset of the 720 line, the Air Max 720. Not sure if you're familiar. Do you have
No,
any 720s?
I don't. I'm not a teenager.
I have a pair of 720s, and let me tell you, they're delightful.
Club Kevin.
Who we got?
What about this dumb Saints fan with the leather helmet? This guy looks like an asshole.
I kind of love it.
I
Wait,
kinda
that looks
love
a
it.
little bit like Mayock.
I thought that was Mayock at first. That's why I looked at it. This guy, what's his name? Tony Lamont. He hates referees, which I think we can all relate to. And he's got a Drew Brees themed pufferfish on his wall. I'm sorry, why wouldn't he be in? Tony Lamont. Welcome to Club Kevin.
Yeah.
Wow, congrats, Tony.
Okay, in honor of Mallory, we'll just go out on the shoes. Yeah.
Boris Johnson all over the newspapers.